Hey guys, how you going? James here. Very excited. Very excited. I'm going to be making one of my most favorite dishes today. It's a fusion Thai dish with pad Thai rice noodles and lots of good Thai flavors. And it's fusion because, well, you're going to have to see. I don't ever make this dish for very many people. There's the kitchen. Usually just make it for myself because it's one of those like real goodies that's super easy to do for one person. And I've got a bunch of things set up here, and I really didn't have to spend a lot of time on it. I've already got the pan nice and hot, and I'm just going to put in some of my hard veggies here first, so I'll just let you know what's going on as I go. Right, so I've got some shallots here. I've got some carrots. Just toss them in there. I've got some of the broccoli stalk and some of the harder pieces of kale. The ones with the little piece of the kale stalk on it. Right, I'm going to put that in here and kind of stir fry it, but I'm not actually really going to stir fry it. I'm going to do two things. I'm going to cheat in one big way by adding water and putting the lid on it. This is called steam frying, although technically I would say steam frying is even more so when you don't have oil. But I've put in the oil just to keep everything really well lubricated there, just in case I am busy, if I'm chopping up other vegetables. I've already done everything here, so I'm not going to have to do that. But the oil will keep things from burning just in case that water runs out in there. So why would you steam fry vegetables like this first? Well, one thing, it cooks them in a way where the oil, you can use no oil, will not get hot. You can put oil into the food into your pan at the very end. I've got coconut oil here today, which is really quite nice. But, you can only put oil in and expect it to be healthy for you if you're doing it at the end. If you're using a nice healthy olive oil or coconut oil or whatever have you, and you're putting it in to cook with, you're going to burn the heck out of that oil in so many senses that you're really transforming all of the fats in that oil, unfortunately, and they lose all of their properties that are healthy for you. So they become useful for cooking as a nice lubrication, but they're not really so healthy anymore. So I've got the carrot, shallots, a little bit of kale, a little bit of broccoli. What else am I going to put in this Thai fusion dish? Well, I'm going to put in a bunch of different vegetables. I'm keeping it veggie as usual, vegan. I've got a few red Fresno peppers, yellow bell pepper, the rest of my dino kale. I've got a little bit of fennel because I just had it in the fridge, although it's not necessarily something that, Thai people would have access to, that's for sure. But it's nonetheless something that's really tasty and really good for some broccoli. You notice how I kind of like slice my broccoli? One of the secrets to stir frying that for some reason a lot of people miss is you need a really hot pan and you need thinly sliced vegetables so that things cook really quickly in the oil if you're doing a stir fry. And whenever you want to cook things quickly in a steam fry, in a stir fry, or whatever may be the case, you can just cut things up smaller. Of course, I got my courgette, the fancy name, or my zucchini, and I've already just minced up a little bit of coriander, if you're from the other side of the pond, the UK. Otherwise, you might call that cilantro, and a little bit of scallion or spring onion. And I've taken the tops of those and I've actually curled them up. You know how to curl them up? Oh, it's a secret. I can't tell you. No, it's really easy. You just got to put them in some ice water. Put them in some ice water ahead of time. Make sure that it stays cold and they'll curl up and it becomes this beautiful garnish. Alright. Must keep the chef happy. Right. So the water is almost evaporated from this. Now, why am I calling it a fusion Thai dish? Because two things. Normally, if you go to Thailand, you'll get Thai curry. You get a lot of Thai curry, green curry, red curry, Penang curry, yada yada yada. Lots of them. You also get pad Thai. Now, what I'm going to be doing, I've got my pad Thai noodles here. Now, let me just turn down the heat on this a little bit. The water evaporate. And my kettle Well, I probably should have hit it one more time right before I started the video, but it's about to boil yet again, and I'm just going to pour it over top of these pad thai noodles, and I'm going to make kind of like the fusion between pad thai, aka a noodle dish, and a curry dish. Normally when you order green curry, red curry, yada yada, as I was mentioning, you just get plain rice with it. Probably jasmine or some sort of nice rice with it. Maybe you could have brown rice or quinoa if you're feeling really healthy, and I love those. I love them. And I love pad thai. But hey, why not put them together if you like them that much, huh? Alright, so I've got this really hot jambalaya water. Alright, so I'm going to pour that over those noodles. Make sure that they're underwater. Anchor them down. I'm getting a lot of steam on that camera right there. Yeah, so that's enough to cook them because those are rice noodles, so they cook within a matter of minutes in boiling water. You could do it on the stove, you could do it like this, but maybe, this is the lazy way to do it, but it's also the more convenient way to do it. Like I've always said, be easy when you're cooking. Keep things easy for yourself, and you'll do a better job. Now, what is this? This is going to be one of my spices. So I've got a whole bunch of things in here. You have a good look at that. Yeah. I've got a little bit of a Thai basil in there that normally I would love to have fresh, but I just don't have fresh today, so I have a little bit of dried just on hand in case. But I got fresh lemongrass that I bang the heck out of. You use the white part of it down by the root. You bang it like you could with a hammer or the back of your knife. And then I put it in a little food processor, like a mini food processor, if you will. I'm going to put a little bit more water in there just to steam this up. And because when you got the water in there, maybe a teeny little bit more, the water helps to meld the flavors together too, more than oil. And I like some nuts, cashews in my vegetarian Thai curry, and I like them equally in pad thai, and I like them in the fusion dish as well. Boom, a little bit of cashews. I always got the raw cashews. These are happy pills. They're like natural antidepressants. Have you watched my raw vegan Caesar salad video on YouTube? Yeah, I explain how these are like nature's Prozac. So, normally you'd put coconut milk, which I've got right here, into a Thai curry. And you wouldn't put it into pad thai. So I'm going to do the 2 in 1, hence my fusion. Alright, so I've got some of these other things going on here. And I've got to cook things fairly quickly as well. I don't want to take forever here. Really, once you've probably don't really need that scooper. Just go with the hands to some extent. And pick up those little bits of extra broccoli with this. Okay. So I've got a little bit of water in here, as you saw. Whoa, where did my... There we go. I needed this. So the water's about done evaporating right now, huh? But there's still a little bit of oil in there. Of course, that's not going to evaporate. It's all goodness, that coconut oil. Now to complement that, put some coconut milk in there. And, of course, the coconut milk's not hot, so you can see that I'm turning up the heat as I put this in. I'm going to put it on high, and that helps all the cool things that we just put in there that weren't already hot. We need them to cook. And it brings down the temperature a lot when you put all that in there. So I cooked the spices just a smidge. Oh, right. So beside that lemongrass, I put in a smidge of ginger. I put in a smidge of garlic. If you really wanted to be Thai-inspired, you could also put in white ginger, which would be galangal. Would be the other more Thai way to say it. But it's really white ginger. You don't normally find it. Normally what we buy in the stores here is yellow ginger or old ginger. New or white ginger is galangal. And, right. Other than that, I did put in 1 clove of garlic. And I put in a little bit of dried coriander and dried cumin, which typically go into Thai curries as well as chilies. I didn't put chilies in here just because I don't know why. I'm going to put in a little bit of chili oil anyhow. But what is this? Normally one of the best, most flavorsome ingredients you can find in Thailand is kaffir lime leaf. Now, it seems to be very difficult to find in the Bay Area here where I live. So when I went to Thailand, less than a year ago, it was a few months ago really, I ended up coming back with a few of these guys, which is just some dried kaffir lime leaf. You know, it's just keep those things on hand in case you can't quite find what you need, right? So like I said, this is a fusion dish. I'm going to put in a little bit of this chili oil here too. It'll spice it up enough. I don't have any green chilies on hand, so you know, I'm not going to make a full-on green curry sauce. Although if you had green curry base, which you could buy already, then you wouldn't need this stuff that I had just thrown in here. You could just put that in there. Make it easy. Save yourself some time. Alright. So, this is kind of cooking right now, but really what you want is for all of these flavors to just marinate together. So, make sure that it's all well covered. Just add in enough coconut milk to cover it, really. And some of it's going to evaporate anyhow. And what that's going to do is, by it evaporating, put this back on to cheat a little bit and get it to cook a bit faster too. By having that coconut milk evaporate a little bit, what's going to happen is that your sauce is going to become thicker. Everything's going to condense in terms of flavor, because that coconut milk's going to bring everything together. It's going to absorb all of the flavors from the lemongrass and the ginger and all that yummy stuff. And because it's getting a little bit thicker, it'll be really nice to complement with something like noodles. If it wasn't getting thicker and it was really runny, well then you might end up with something more like a Vietnamese soup, which would be fine too, I suppose, if that's what you're after. But I'm not after that. I'm after something that's kind of in between a gravy-like sauce that's like an Indian curry sauce or Thai curry sauce, which is a bit more runny, like a thick gravy, and something like a pad thai, which has just some really great sauce for flavoring in it, but doesn't actually have any sort of runny consistency to it. Now, if you wanted to kick this up a notch with some spice, you could add in a whole bunch of things. What have I got here in my spice drawer? I've got a little bit of chili flakes. I did put in some of that chili oil, but I'm one for the spices, especially something in the hot spice sense of it all. So I'm going to put in a little bit of that. Like I said, you could put in fresh green chilies, you could make this sauce red instead of green as well. You know, if you've got red or if you've got yellow curry, you just put in whatever you want. These are the vegetables I had on hand. Seem like a great combination of a lot of different things. So, that's what I'm going with. Sometimes I put in big shredded coconut flakes too. I'll put in a little bit more oil. It's not at any risk of sticking together, but coconut oil just has that really great coconutty taste to it. And before I put it away, I just wanted to be true to it and give it another great chance. And as I am cooking, as always, you need to put love into the things. You need to keep this stress free. And for that, you've got to stay organized and put things away. Alright, so one of the few things that I'm going to put on top is this right here. So for garnishes, I'm going to toss it with a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Place some of these nice curly scallions or green spring onions on top with some sesame seeds. And as you can see, gomasio, as my friend Mark introduced me to from Eden Organic, is basically a sesame seed, sea salt, and garlic combination. You could make it yourself, or you could just use sesame seeds. Alright, before I forget, peppers cook really quite quickly, and even still, if they weren't really cooked, they're so easy to eat raw and so delicious anyways that you're not at any risk. Stay happy. Alright, so you can see that, you know, it's good to stir these things. Make sure that they are actually cooked. But they should be not quite translucent, but almost translucent. One of the best ways to test is to taste, as I always say. Another really good thing is you don't have to use this exact recipe. I'm not doing this so that you can copy it exactly. You can copy it exactly. Sometimes I copy things exactly. When I'm baking, sometimes I copy things exactly because things are quite precise when you're baking. But when you're cooking, things don't have to be that precise. Really, when I watch cooking videos, what I do with all of this lovely stuff is I take inspiration from it, and then from that inspiration, I come up with my own variation on it. So you can see how that coconut milk has quite really, I mean, there's not really all that much of it left. I'm going to turn down the heat now. I've got my noodles here. I need to drain. Woo! That's actually still really, really hot. Okay. I might need to take a different approach to draining out this water. That seems to be alright. I just don't want to lose any noodles in doing this. Nor do I really want to burn myself. Alright. Very good. Managed to do that. Why do I keep them in the water right until I put them in the pan? Whoops. No noodle left behind. I said no noodle. Tongue twister, it seems. No noodle left behind. Alright. Everything is looking quite good in here. Why did I keep those noodles in the water right until the end? Because rice noodles stick to each other like none other. So it's really important to make sure that they don't stick to each other. You can do that with a heck of a lot of oil, or you can just keep them in that water. It doesn't have to be hot water. The water cooled down naturally. And I'm just putting in some of my vegetable salt, one of my most trusty ingredients that I use in pretty much any dish, and pepper. S&P, but this is a little bit of a better S. Wonderful organic veggies to flavor that sea salt. Alright, this is looking pretty good now. I'm happy with it. And I turn off the stove, grab a dish to plate it. You know, probably, I've got a whole whack of tools here, but probably one of the better ones for scooping out things with noodles in is this right here. Right. It's got some fingers on it. Allows you to grab things. And by doing that, you can kind of grab it and not too much is going to drop off of it. Then you can just kind of drop it into the bowl like that. And, you know, as usual with my cooking demo videos, I'm just going to eat this all by myself. But this even looks like it's more than enough food for just me. I don't think I put in that many noodles, to be frank. But this bowl is filling up quickly. Alright. So will I put in all of the rest of this, is the question. Well, let's see. I think before I put in all of it, you know, you want to see some of these things. You can put them near the end on top. Partial garnish. Partially go back to the pan here and take the finishing touch. Do it however you like it, but that's what was inspiring me. Do a little bit of that, a little bit of this, and you can still see some noodles. I'm gonna just pile the rest of that minced cilantro on top. Grab all of these nice. Ooh-yee. Brilliant. Steamin' Willy Beamin'. Looks good. Looks good. Smells awesome. And there you have it. This is my fusion Thai dish. I don't really necessarily think I have a name for it. This is like a green curry pad Thai fusion. It's basically a good description of it, but I don't know. How does it look in Google Glass? Looks pretty good to me. Hey, I hope you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Join me on some more of these wonderful foodie adventures. Leave me a comment, ask a question. I'm happy to help people out, and I'm happy just to have cool feedback. You can yell at me and insult me as well. But yeah, give me a +1, thumbs up if you like this video, and subscribe to my YouTube channel or follow me on Google+. Happy to help you guys out. Bon appetit, and be well, live well, and be healthy. Nice, good vegan recipes from James's Kitchen Studio Adventures. Have a good evening, or good lunch if you're making this for lunch, or maybe you're just watching it anytime. Alright, bye for now. Take care.